Hello guys, it's Boy13. I think this is an obvious reason why I'm doing this video. Yes, this week has been one of the wettest, coldest and probably dullest June weeks I can remember in like ever really. Why is that? More on that after the intro.
Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase and
Oh my god!
love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah. No, I don't wanna waste what's left.
Oh my god!
We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And
The storm
we'll go.
has now arrived. Hello guys, Boy13, and yes, welcome to another interesting video. Today's video topic, yes, easily one of the wettest June weeks I can ever remember. I know we're only the 14th day of the month, but have we actually had one of the wettest Junes on record? Well, so far we haven't quite had the wettest June on record just yet, but having said that, we're not quite that far off though. So let me explain what has happened. I bet you've been wondering, why has it been so persistently wet and cold and of course dull as well? Well, this week, the jet stream at this time of the year would normally be above our country. As you know, it travels from west to east, normally 6 miles above our hemisphere. So we normally have like warmest and brightest weather in the southeast of the country, the wettest of the weather with more clouds and more common outbreaks of rain in the north and the west. What happened was, there's been like very undulating type of a jet stream, you know, it's been buckling up. What some places, you know, have had an unusually period of dry weather, and other places have had unusually periods of wet weather. What happened was, the jet stream was like, it's a bit complex to mention, but basically happened was the jet stream was broken up into several places, and when we get like a blocking of the jet stream, it takes a long time for those weather patterns to shift. So basically there was a cut-off of the jet stream on like halfway across between our area, and that's why, you know, one went up, one went down. We were unfortunately on the downward trend of the jet stream, which kept in all that cloud and spells of rain, obviously, because when that happens with the jet stream, the pressure tends to be lower, and other places pressure will be rising, because you know that's how it works across the weather, across the globe. And it's just so unfortunate this week that we were well under the low pressure all week. The pressure in other places were very high. Greenland and Iceland had some unusually warm and dry weather this week, temperatures several degrees above average. And then not just that, but in Eastern Europe, we're obviously covered in heatwave conditions all throughout the week, temperatures well into the 30s. It wasn't hot everywhere though. Western Europe, Western and Northern Europe also faced the brunt of the cold and wet weather. In fact, Northern Spain and France have had just as equally as a cool week, maybe not quite as wet in terms of how focused the low pressure was, but that's how we've been facing a lot of rain that week. Now, next thing to know, how much rain have we recorded? Well, I went on a website called AccuWeather. I can't say it's actually a definite, but it seems accurate enough. Sorry, apologies, that was one of my camera lens dropping. Throughout the first half of June, the 14 days that we received, so far we have probably received almost 140 millimeters of rain. The average rainfall throughout June in our area is normally around 60 to 65 millimeters, so we're almost 2.5 times above the limits. So there's a lot of football fans going on across the other side of me, but what I'm trying to say is, yes, we've had obviously the weather front was stuck. Basically there was nothing to shift because of the way the jet stream was behaving. The low pressure wasn't moving anytime soon throughout the week, so that's why it has just been relentlessly wet. And obviously with the persistent rainfall, and also April and May were quite dry months as well, not a huge amount of rain, So although it was quite welcome, in a short space of time it then became very unwelcome. Basically, we've had some roads have turned into rivers, you know, streams have been cut off, there's been massive flooding everywhere. I'll mention a few places: Arnold, Lamley, parts of Eastern Nottingham, parts of Leicestershire. I faced, particularly East Midlands, I've had a lot of, well, quite considerable amounts of flooding. You know, although there weren't a huge amount of homes been flooded, thankfully, that still does not mean that many roads were closed though. It just caused havoc across our region. You know, there's been disruption to water supplies because of the result of the rainfall. And I'm going to show you something. Today is Tuesday the 11th of June and we're well in the middle of June now, and it's, well, clearly not summer-like at the moment. Perfect weather for ducks. They are loving it at the moment. You can see. Yes, I won't mention location, but what I can mention, that photo got shown not just on the BBC East Midlands weather, but the UK natural weather for the week ahead, and that's never happened before. In all my years of been doing BBC Weather Watches, it actually got shown naturally. I could not believe that. It was an incredibly lucky day for me. But it's not just one photo that's got an editor's pick. I took 2 photos that same day, and both of my photos, this is the next one. I can mention that location. It was in Queen's Park in Loughborough, and it also got an editor's pick. It wasn't shown on the natural weather or the BBC East Midlands weather, but it definitely featured an editor's pick on there. So that was a double lucky day for me. So yeah, 2 photos I took ended up being editor's pick, because I don't know, I didn't think I would get both photos been shown, but sometimes luck's with me. But yeah, that week has been, you know, unbelievably a deluge it has been for our region. Sorry, birds are going crazy behind me. I think they're stuck in the trees. Like I said, we need to get at least 20 to 30 millimeters more if we were to beat, well, I think the record rainfall amount, I think, was just over 180 millimeters. So we're not too far off from potentially having our wettest June on record, beating 2007 and 2012. But yes, so, and there's actually a chance we could get a bit more, some spells of more heavy rain. Hopefully it won't be any more persistent. I don't think any of us want to have a record broken for the wettest June on record. Next Wednesday at the moment we've got a thunderstorm warning, but even that's days away, may easily change. But there will be some further spells of rain. There is also a chance it could potentially add up any, well, unwelcome rainfall accumulation, so we could end up potentially, there's a small chance we could end up having one of the wettest Junes on record. But yes, I just want you to know, the reason why I didn't film very much, I didn't get around to it as much. Rainfall wasn't always heavy, but to be honest, sometimes it's not really nice just filming the rainfall out. My camera's been wet too many times this year, or not the past 12 months. So I want to try and treat it as well. Same with my my video camera, the Canon camera I meant. So yeah. So yeah, that's what I want to let you know, guys. It wasn't a completely dull week for me. Both my photos got shown for all the wrong reasons, but it's just been relentless. Now, tomorrow, well, this is filmed Friday, I've got the 10k run, and I'm really surprised actually. It still hasn't been called off. It's still going ahead as planned. Football's really getting the fans going tonight. But yeah, that's the plan I'll be doing. I'll give you an update on that. And of course, you know, with college life happening in September, I've had a recent video update on that. I'll be looking forward to it. So I'm optimistic, even if it hasn't been an optimistic week weather-wise. I'm always positive. And I may mention some news happening later in the summer, which I may possibly be able to show you, or tell you at least. So, and that's it for me. Give it a like, comment, subscribe. Always there for you guys. And keep the subscribers coming. We're really getting there. That's it for me. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great week as always. The storm, or I should say appropriately, the rain, is now finally out. Well, most of it at least.